Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Hip Hop Babies. Boom! Boom, 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 pow,
I
pow,
should
pow,
get so
pow.
close in before you did it, bro.
I gotta do it every time, right?
Yes,
Every time.
sir, Ski. We are back.
That's the sounds of the coconuts falling on AC head right now.
Yes, sir. You in the
Man, you know
tropics?
me.
Feeling
Ask me
yourself.
where I'm at.
AC, where you reporting from right now?
Man, we outside first off. Man, usually I'm in the X, you know what I'm saying, the Bronx, but took a little vacay. I'm in the Bahamas. Okay, look, hey, you know what I'm saying? Give me a little dancing, a little salsa in there, you know what I'm saying?
He was
I'm
not
at.
doing no salsa. Stop.
Hey, you see it, look, it ain't no background. You see the trees moving?
Mm-hmm.
You see the waves?
Yeah.
I ain't talking about under the Louis.
Oh,
You see the wave? Yeah, okay.
That's real.
Out here, me and Drake doing the things. Island things, yeah, do the island things.
I know Ray's the certified lover boy here, so I mean, we should really be asking him. What's you doing out here, Ray? What's happening with you? How's your September been, man? Since this album dropped, how's it got you feeling?
Dang.
How's it mental?
What do you mean? Since the album dropped, like this album changed my life.
It did, bro.
Nah.
Did it stamp you, bro? Did it make you certified?
Nah, I'm not certified, man. All I gotta say
a classic.
It's a classic.
Come on, bro. Don't air me out. Come on, bro. Stop playing. With me. Stop playing.
It's a classic.
Stop playing. With me.
We ain't even tell nobody what we reviewing right now. So, Certified Lover Boy by Drake. That is the album review today.
Who wants to get us started? Like really talk about the album. How we want to do this,
bro? I'll go because like I already know.
Okay.
I might as well go because I know y'all gonna hate on this album the whole time. Maybe Ray will be unbiased. Deadly gonna hate on the album. He gonna trash the album. Look, I already know it. This is coming from somebody. First, let me get this off my chest. This is coming from somebody that don't normally mess with Drake. I mess with Drake when he dropped a little 3-pack. You know, that's usually sometimes it's cool. He put some heat into it.
Fire.
Yeah, his 3-packs go crazy, right? But here we go. We got an album. How many songs on this album? Now, we know Drake is notorious for dropping 2-hour albums.
It's a 21 song album, an hour and 26 minutes.
Hour and 26 minutes. That's a little, is that on par with what he normally drops? Or is it more?
Yes. No, that's
about on par.
Average.
How long was Scorpion? The Scorpion
was like
an hour and 30. So yeah.
Okay.
And that was a double album.
Yep.
So, let me ask y'all before I give my opinion. How many times did you guys catch yourself skipping tracks on this album?
Not as much as Scorpion, as far as like after.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Okay, so I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna hold y'all. This surprised me a little more than what I was expecting. All right, Certified Lover Boy had a lot of hype around it. Wasn't too sure what to expect. You know, thinking it was gonna be another typical Drake album, which it kind of was. All right, guys, I'm not gonna hold you, which it kind of was, but it was done differently this time. He had a little bit of different sounds, a little bit, you know, nothing too drastically different, but something that was different.
What you talking about?
Bro, he had a little bit of different.
Like,
he had Jay on it.
What do you mean by different,
bro? Come on, bro.
What was different? Nah, we finna get on you because you gonna say something.
Nah, I mean,
you try to go on a monologue, but you can't say stuff. That's cap. What was different?
It's not fully cap, bro. He had different. Okay, look. Okay, first off, he had different features.
What was different?
He had different features. This album.
He had 21 this time.
He had 21. He had Jay.
Jay's been on his albums.
Was he on the last one?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, he was. He was.
He was on Nothing Was the Same too, wasn't he?
He was on the Pound Cake. He's been on. He does songs with Drake.
Okay, that's the last track I can remember with Jay and Drake.
Nah, he was on Scorpion.
I understand that, but you know, it was.
You understand that? Huh? He was on Talk Up. On Scorpion.
I get that. Okay, all right. He has different features, though. You know what I'm saying? He has a little bit of different sounds. The sounds aren't the same. Now, the sounds are different on this album. Come on now. Like, I mean, we can start with Champagne Poetry. That was a great mix up that he did. It was great. All right, guys. Come on now.
I'm trying hard. Nah. I think you trying to reach to make it sound like he did something different.
No,
because there was nothing, and this isn't me hating, because I thought this album was solid, but to say he did stuff different, and that's I think that's a reach. He didn't do anything different. Off top, I mean, I could hear what you're saying. Maybe like doing the Rock Marciano second part of the beat, but like, come on, bro. That wasn't that different. Simple.
He tried, bro.
He didn't try. Like, come on. Why are you lying for Drake right now? And I ain't even hating.
I don't know why I'm a Drake fan right now, but the album wasn't bad though. Like
I'm not saying it's bad, but
I can't cap.
But you can't say he did. What did he
scratch the different thing, bro? Scratch.
Okay, yeah. Stop lying for this thing.
Look, I'm trying, Drake. You see this? I'm trying. AC trying for you right now. I really am. But okay,
what was different? What he did was he got his old stuff right. Like when you get like a Christmas gift and it's pretty bad, so next year you might get rid of it. So you just put it in a new wrapping and you give it to somebody. It's a new present, right? You got a new present. That's what he did to us. He got some of his old stuff, put it in some new packaging. It says Certified Lover Boy. This is the theme of it. But it's the same topics that Drake been hitting on before.
But we like old Drake.
Nah, it's not about look, I'm gonna say it like Champagne Poetry was a great. I agree with you, AC. It was a great intro.
It was a great intro.
Drake's known for doing good intros. It was a cool opener, spit dope bars. I love the second part where he cut the drums and just was spitting. And then even going into Poppy's Home, I thought that was a cool little second track, another dope sample. I was like, okay, like, but it wasn't anything different. To say it was different, I wouldn't say it was different. I was just saying he was doing that sound well.
It was a reach.
And for Scorpion, the problem with Scorpion was it's crazy to think that these albums are only 4 minutes different in length. But to me, I didn't get the same problem with Scorpion. And maybe that's because of the double album aspect where the Scorpion was like one half R&B, one half rap. This was more so just like it was blended all throughout.
It was a mesh, right?
Yeah, so it didn't give me that feeling of being the same length, and it wasn't too bloated for me. Now, would I say I loved every track on here? No,
I wouldn't either. I would say, not trying to cut you off though.
No, what?
I would honestly say I liked most tracks on this album though. That's actually different for me. Like really, like I was surprised when I listened to it, and that's the honest truth. I mean, I'm curious to hear what y'all feel about it. Like, do y'all just feel like it was a mid pack? Y'all feel like it was
I think it was another Drake album. Now, this is the best album he's dropped, I would say, since Views. I mean, so I've been talking to people because now this album's been out for a minute, and some people have said that they feel like Scorpion's better. I don't think so. I think Scorpion is one of his worst projects, and I think that this is easily better than it. It was more focused, I feel like, even though the other one was a double album, this one didn't have as many skips as AC saying. And I feel like even though he didn't do anything different, he didn't do anything to ruin the album. Like, he didn't do anything to make it like, wow, I need to skip this. It didn't make me go to sleep per se, but it was kind of boring on certain tracks.
That's it right there. That's it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Yep. And that's my main issue with it. I feel like he should have. There was multiple like the tracks were. And here's the thing, Drake is one of the better rappers, especially in the mainstream. The mainstream, he's one of the better rappers in the game. But I don't look to rappers like Kanye or Drake or even some of the other rappers like that, like Meek Mill, to be super lyrical. Now they are better than their peers sometimes, but at this point, now we listen to what Benny the Butcher. Who else? Who do you think? I mean, there's a bunch of other rappers, Mac Homie, like who really rap their ass off. Mm-hmm. And when he does this, always dope to see, but he doesn't change it up. Like, even No Friends in the Industry gives me the old Drake vibes where he just talks shit and was like, I'm better than y'all. I don't really need friends anymore. No new friends. You know what I'm saying? And then 7 a.m. Bridal Path, that was cool. That was hard. It was cool to track, dissing Kanye a little bit, dissing other rappers who be talking stuff. But I feel like at this point, you do this every time, even you do it like it was just like, okay, this is more of this. And that's fine. It's not, I don't have an issue with that. I wasn't expecting anything different. I kind of was at first when he was doing the trailers. This album has been a long wait in a sense where he said it was going to come out in January, right?
What was that video? You remember that video, the teaser video with the spotlight on the little kid?
I think that was January. Right?
What was that about, bro?
That was when he announced it for January, yeah. And
I know, but like, what did it have to do with the album?
Maybe he had something else at that point.
Even Lil Uzi had trailers that related to the album better than that. Like, what was that, bro? Like,
you hate now, right now, Deadly. You hate.
I'm asking you a question, bro. I'm trying to find.
I don't know.
You like the packs of singles that Drake puts out. What was this one? Wants and Needs
Put out,
and
fucking Rick Ross one.
the Rick Ross one. And I think that those tracks, the features were better, the rapping was better, and it sounded like Drake was more energetic on those tracks. The one with Lil Baby on this album, Girls Want Girls, I wasn't feeling it that much.
We finally hear, bro. We finally hear Girls Want Girls where I'm from. Why is this nigga getting Lil Baby on some soft ass track like that? Lil Baby don't go on soft tracks, bro.
He can.
We've heard him throughout the year do stuff like that, but you just had Wants and Needs go fucking platinum, diamond shit, and you got him on this soft ass track. When the rest of the album, no friends in the industry or like Knife Talk, I wanted to see like maybe 21 Savage, Lil Baby going back and forth. You could have had him doing some crazy shit, but you want to put him on some sleeper track where you talking about I'm a lesbian too, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that line was very corny, and I just think that Drake, he with that song again, it's another Drake track where it's like it's gonna do numbers. It's because you're gonna hear it in the club, you're gonna hear it when you're out because the beat, his little vibe, Lil Baby on the track. But really, I don't think that track is anything special. And I was looking forward to it because the track on the single pack was awesome. Once it needs, I love that. I like that track. That was fire. That was way better than the track.
You know what? You wanna like look at all these other features on here, bro. He's had so many better moments with all these features. None of these features stood out and being like, damn, I haven't heard Drake and 21 come on a song like that before. I mean, have you really? No, but like, was it that good? No.
What are you talking about?
Knife Talk was
Knife Talk,
bro.
But Knife
Talk was hard.
But we've heard Drake and 21 on tracks. Drake put out a single with 21, I believe, years ago on like one of the single things he put out. Like he put out a track on him. I forgot what it was called. And then he was on 21's album. We didn't really mess with that track. I don't think
that one was trash.
So this one was better. Good. This one was better.
But
good. Again, it wasn't anything crazy. And Drake kind of to me on Knife Talk, I don't really like when Drake is. I'm not saying he was acting immensely hard on the track, but I don't really like when he does that too much. I like when he raps and he's just talking his shit in his way. Now I'm not saying he was like being gangster on that track or anything, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't like even sometimes when he does the tracks with Future, they're cool, they bump. I like the one In Too Deep on this album way more than Way Too Sexy. Because that was a good vibe. I feel like even the way he had the beat change for Future, like that was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because Future wasn't going to probably do well on that first half. I feel like Way Too Sexy, that was almost like a Future
and Thug
track. You know what I'm saying? With Drake on it. And the other one was a Drake track with Future on it. And that's what I like when Drake does. If Drake could make his features work on the tracks that obviously are built for him, it's great. It's almost like what Kanye does. I'm not even trying to compare it. I'm gonna cut that, but I'm gonna say it's almost like a Travis Scott or someone like that, where it's like you put the artist in the right place with you. But sometimes I feel like he does that, but it just doesn't work on his part as well, or it's just the same thing. He doesn't.
That's what it is. Is mostly is his part, bro. And like you'll listen to these tracks and you'll be like, okay, I really like what Travis is doing. I didn't think Travis had the best verse on Fair Trade.
I like that, bro. He was cool, but it wasn't anything crazy.
He was cool, right? But then you go to Drake's part and you're just like, it's got something missing, man. It's like it's so generic that it's like it's not doing anything different than what Travis could do. And
hey, see, like y'all hate, bro. No, I like Fair Trade. Fair Trade is one of my favorite tracks. I love that track. I thought that was cool.
That's actually it's not my least favorite, but it wasn't. It's not in my rotation.
See, and that's what I'm saying. And I think that's a big thing about Drake too. Drake has different vibes, and especially with this album, it wasn't.
And he has songs on the album that's fit for multiple occasions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Different listeners. I mean, that's a pro and a con. I think it's more of a pro than a con because then you can generate so many different listeners, right? You can have people that are tuning into the album for different reasons. Like they come and get what they need. All right, my thing is to you guys. What are you guys expecting? I don't expect much when I go into a Drake album.
No, yeah, and I feel you, and that was what I was thinking. When I was listening to this album, especially now that I've had time, what was I expecting? What was I thinking I was gonna get? And when I looked at it, I'm really not disappointed with this album. I'm being critical of it to a certain degree because that's what I want to do. Like as far as like I want to talk about what I didn't like, what I did like.
That's fair.
But with this album, I wasn't expecting too much from Drake, and that's why I'm not really disappointed. I just think he might have hyped it up too much. With this little beef with Kanye, with the little trailers that Deadly's talking about, showing all the classic album he's done, almost comparing this album to Kanye's album. And I'm not trying to say which one is better at this point, but my point is You're making a lot of comparisons to other people who do great work or the great work in your past. You held yourself to this standard and you dropped it. And we're not saying it's a bad album. At least I'm not. What I'm saying is it wasn't that. Now you either take what you want or you complain. I ain't complaining. I don't really care at this point. It's like Drake's gonna do numbers. He ain't complaining. He's obviously happy. He's gonna keep doing this, obviously, unless something happens.
Bro, his fan base will never fall off. It's just like he has a recipe that people are gonna come and taste every single time he drops. So this is one of those things. It's like, as I said this on the podcast before, when Drake drops, I'm gonna listen just because it's Drake. Mm-hmm. But he dropped this time, and I was actually pleasantly surprised that hey, I was able to listen to this and not be completely like, yo, why am I listening to this? I caught myself a few times above my head, like, oh, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? No, like, I know I was going for a stretch when I said it's different. I know.
No, I know. But obviously, not everything is a 1-to-1 copy. You know, otherwise, I feel like, but obviously, you know, some of these songs almost sound, I wouldn't say identical, but there's been comparisons I've seen. It's like, it's like, close. It's like, I get it. Everyone has a formula to a certain degree. Travis Scott has a formula, but he's kind of gotten called out for doing that too. I think Drake, with this point, he's so settled in his formula that it's like, it worked for him because he's a game changer. He was a game changer at one point. So it's like, people know he has this sound. But just like anybody who was a game changer, just because you created a sound doesn't mean you can only make that sound for a big part of your career. And that's what it's been like that since a certain point.
So he has been trying other sounds, right? But what the problem is that it's not his sound anymore. He's adopting sounds. So I can go and get somebody else's shit. Let's go to the Tim's track, right? Was he even on that shit, bro?
Yeah, I didn't really like Fountains. Fountains
is he even on Fountains? Like, he's really just like using an excuse to like add other genres into his project, saying that he's gonna boost other people's genre up by putting them in there and giving them clout. And I mean, that's fine and dandy, but I'm coming for your shit, bro. If I'm gonna listen to your project.
Coming to you, to hear you.
Wait a minute.
What? Go ahead.
Because when I said this about Westside, y'all was like, oh, well, he putting people on. And I said, I'm trying to come here and listen to Westside. I'm not trying to. If you want to put people on, that's great.
No, I get what you're saying, but the thing is with Drake is different than Westside in the sense that he acts like he is the best in the game, and because his numbers, and he is. Here's the thing. When Westside Gun gets Stove Guy Cooks on the track, that's fine. That's an upcomer who's in his lane, who's trying to rap his ass off when he's rapping with Westside Gun. When Drake gets a feature, it's not someone like that. It's like 21 Savage. It's like, it's like two different lanes. That's another thing about this feature. No, I get it. It's two different lanes, but that's another thing about the features on Drake's album. Drake might be in a different lane musically as far as what features he wants to get. But before this album, Benny the Butcher was posting it. There was a few other rappers posting it. And obviously, not everyone's going to make the cut. But I do think Drake also has a problem with not going. I'm not gonna say he doesn't go for certain features because of this, but for example, the feature that he had with Lil Baby, the feature that Lil Baby had on the singles was way better than the features on the album. He he outdid Drake on that song. In my opinion,
he did.
I'm gonna say it.
He did.
There's no song on this where I feel like he really got outdid. Maybe besides Way Too Sexy, and even then, that song isn't really. It's not like he got outdid crazy. It just Future and Thug kind of sound better on the track to me, because they kind of took over the track.
What you're saying is Drake will never put on a feature
that will outdo him. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not trying to say that because he works with Jay-Z on the album, but he doesn't rap like that. I mean, even on the feature on Kanye's album, it's not like he can when he wants to. The Jay-Z feature on Love All, I didn't really, as a Jay-Z fan, Jay-Z didn't do bad, but he didn't really add anything to the track for me. That track was kind of boring to me. All these features are pretty much great artists on this album. He has almost anyone you would probably want to get, producer-wise too. He doesn't really have Boy Wonder on this album, which was a surprise. But besides that, he's working with all these producers, everything. Writers probably as well. And you come out with this, which is a solid project, but it's not anything special to me. The features are cool, but it's nothing too crazy. It's one of his better projects in years, but is that saying much?
I want to touch back on what you were saying about.
We kind of touched on some of the other tracks. My favorite track was like TSU. I feel like that was a good one. That was a cool track, kind of still in the beginning, but kind of going near the middle. And then that's when I really started to pick up, like as far as the album really started to catch stride for me. Maybe that's why I really like that track, because In Too Deep, that was awesome too. That was a good ass transition. That's when we started getting into the Houston part where he's kind of getting Southern and messing with different sounds. Not different sounds, like different for him, but like I like the vibe more than the first half.
Yeah,
the features.
I feel you on that.
More. Yeah, and
TSU was good.
Yeah, TSU was dope. It was a cool little melodic track. I love when Drake does the melodic. He's not rapping hard, but he's rapping. He's kind of singing. He's talking about maybe a stripper, maybe some girl. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's the same shit.
But same thing.
Toxic,
same thing. Nothing crazy.
But it's, I don't know what it is, man, because Future can redo it so well. Like he does the same thing, right, on his shit. But it just sounds good because he just sticks to it and he's confident and he knows what he's doing. I feel like Drake don't be sounding confident on these tracks, man. Drake,
it's not even about confidence. It's not about confidence. I think it's just like he sounds
a little bit
like he's doing the same thing. It's nothing different.
I know.
You were talking. You're phoning it in.
But what draws people to Drake initially, and when Drake got into the game, is that he was a game changer. He was innovating, and Drake does not innovate anymore and do his own.
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't
have to, but you can't complain when people want you to, especially if you're gonna compare this album to classics in the trailer and do certain things. Some of this promotion was a little too much, I think.
Well, no, I understand that. I'm not making the argument for Drake. I'm just saying, like, if I'm in Drake's shoes, this is what I say. I don't have to because I'm still doing numbers. You know what I'm saying?
You're the number one artist.
So
not even hip hop in general, damn near. You're the number one artist.
He is. But and then I think people will try to respond with, well, Drake definitely does touch other genres. Did you check out the song Fountains, right? Like they'll say like that he has different genres on this. It's for different people and he has to pander to a larger group because he's so big. But honestly, the greatest artists and the artists that I love the most are the ones who don't give a fuck what anybody has to think and is going to go in an artistic direction that is going to warp people's minds and people are going to go crazy for it because they ain't heard shit like that before. And Drake has not done anything like that since he came out. Drake ain't getting plays for me no more, bro. This album is not getting plays for me. I'm not slapping this album. I don't care if I enjoy some of the tracks. I do enjoy this album to some degree. It's not getting rotation for me. I'm not going to add to this man's streaming total.
It don't matter, bro.
It don't matter. It's like saying like it's like saying I'm not going to buy chicken no more.
I mean, but it does matter in the sense that, you know, at a certain point, maybe other people will start to feel that way, and people are starting to feel that way. I'm starting to see more people voice their displeasure with Drake starting to sound the same. And I've been at this point for a minute, so it's kind of funny to see. Also interesting that people are taking it too far now, and I think are trying to say, well, the album's trash. It's not trash. It's not trash. I think Scorpion was worse. I wouldn't say Scorpion was trash, but it was closer to trash to me because it felt way more bloated. This didn't feel as bloated. It just wasn't anything different, and it kind of flowed, but then at moments it kind of was like, okay, this is just not going anywhere. For example, I think you brought up Fountains. The thing is with Fountains, the problem is I don't like that track really. That was like probably the worst track to me. And it's not like a horrible track. It's just it didn't vibe with me at all. And I'm not really a big fan of when Drake does that sound. I know other people who are, and that's cool. But
AC.
My example of when he did, like, I think he kind of tried to do something different with More Life. The whole playlist thing, that was at the time, the playlist thing. It's not really an album, but it is an album. He did a lot of the accent, the Canadians. He messed with a whole bunch of UK artists on that project. I think it did, of course it did numbers, but I don't think that he does it on a track like every time now, but I don't think he's going to do a whole album like that again, because I don't think it really lasted that long with his fans. It's seen as one of his worst projects, and I don't know what more can he do. Like I kind of get what people are saying. What AC's kind of saying. What do you want? Do you want him to start rapping like Kanye and start talking about God? Do you want him to be like Jay-Z and start talking about investing and being an old person? Do you want him to talk about what can he talk? Like, I guess that's his life. And
I feel like there's tons of things this man could talk about. Because
I do too.
The topic matter.
I do too.
The same.
I do too.
For mostly every album.
But what would you want? Like, and I do get that to a certain degree. What would you want? I don't know.
I think folks gonna hate though. They gonna hate. Look, this is coming from somebody. Again, I know I really sound like I'm trying to protect Drake this podcast. Man, I don't know what's getting into me right now, but I feel like whatever he tries or whatever he does, the next album people gonna hate it or love it. So it's just
that's
like
a given. That's
right. Right. So I mean, it's just like I feel like he's at a point where he doesn't really care to please. Like he just knows like he dropped something and he's gonna do numbers.
I think he does. I mean, I think he kind of does though, because why else? I don't know, maybe just to build up hype. But
I think it's just the hype. I don't think he really cares about the artistry. No, I don't really think.
I think he acts like he does to a certain degree though.
You don't think he cares about how people view him, bro? Wasn't he talking about how he was the GOAT on this project? Like people called him the GOAT before, and like he's like caring
how people hold on, caring how people view him is totally different than caring about how like the music industry views him per se. Like people can say like, oh, Drake's the GOAT, but when it comes to like music, he can care less because he's getting paid. Yeah, but maybe people thinking about him on a personal level, that's different. So saying that he doesn't care how people view him is, I mean, that doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. Like
it does matter. His perception that is inflicted on him matters very much to him. That's why he makes albums that are so all over the place. And now they might have the same topic matter, but the sounds are so different because he wants to appease everybody, right?
I feel like it's separated though.
Is it really Drake's fault that he's at this point, or is it everybody else's fault on how they look on him? It's a little bit of both, because he cares too much about what people think, and at the same time, so he's trying to please everybody, but he's also trying to, like, do these other things, yada yada yada. They never work. People don't really like him. You're saying people either hate or love him, whatever he does. I just want him to switch up the topic matter. I like when he gets deep and introspective, and he talks about like his conflictions with women. I'm done with that. We moved on past that. We get it, bro. You're a certified lover boy. We put a stamp on it. Can we move on next project? Can we do something different? Can we talk about fatherhood, bro? Like,
no. I don't want him. That's the saying too. Like, I don't know if I want him to be talking about fatherhood, because I feel like he has certain tracks or certain lines. He mentions it on this album, and I feel like that kind of sounds corny for Drake as well. Like Drake. See, that's what I'm saying. His image is to be a fuckboy and to like kind of have feelings for people, even though he's a fuckboy. Now that he has a kid, and I think him doing Poppy's Home, him saying like he's the father of some of these rappers, it's not just talking about the kid he literally has and has now publicized because he got exposed. He's playing on it that he's like a father figure. He's a dad figure now. And whether it's his son or these other rappers that look up to him now, he has to keep carrying the torch. And he was saying like, sorry, I didn't drop last year, like a real project. I'm back now. I'm home. And for you to come back with this after the wait, people basically almost don't count those other projects like Dark Lane demo tapes. What was that?
I think it was actually
it was solid. It was solid, but it wasn't anything crazy. And care package and stuff like that. Like people don't count those projects. So technically, you've been away for as far as dropping a big album like this for a minute, and you come back with this, and I can't blame people for being disappointed. If you really hold Drake to that legendary, like you think every album he's gonna drop is gonna be a classic, I can see you being disappointed.
Sad day.
That's what I'm saying though. Like it depends on which. I think it depends on what you listen to. I think it depends on how you look at music. I think some people, Drake is their favorite artist. He's their primary as far as like a quality standard. Some people think he's better than Kendrick. We don't obviously think that. I don't think.
Wow.
But,
yeah. No.
He sells the most. He sells the most. He does a lot of numbers. A lot of people know him. A lot of people are invested in his drama. So it's like, or his life, and
yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
I just think, like you said, Ray, you don't want him to rap about his kid. You think that's gonna be corny. I think whatever Drake drops, bro, people like going back to what I'm saying. They gonna say exactly what you said. No, that's corny, bro. Like that's whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why he feel like, why even deviate from something that's obviously working with the majority? Yes, there's people out there that don't like it. Yeah, but like,
I think he could just, if anything, just switch up the features you work with. Maybe switch up some of the topics, even the beats, like the way he samples things. I love Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a dope artist, but he does sound similar with certain like periods and certain times. But Jay-Z had his times where he was switching it up. He tried to do things different. Michael Jackson with bad at certain things. When certain things were happening in their life, they changed it up and made different albums. They changed their sounds. Drake, maybe he started off doing that at an early point in his career, but ever since a certain point, he's not doing that no more. And you could either have a problem with it now, or you could just drift away. And maybe
because he's
like, yeah, what?
He's on top though.
He's on top. He's on top, and that's fine. And I think it's cool I think it's good, even though I'm not the biggest fan of his music. I think it's good he's on top because it's dope to see a rapper on top. He's the biggest artist in general. Like as far as out here, he's breaking records, streaming the most. It's kind of crazy to see. A rapper. It's not just a pop star. He's basically a pop star as a rapper.
Right.
But overall, as far as his music, I just think a lot of my favorite tracks on here are where it's just him, like TSU. I kind of like Pipe Down, Race My Mind, The Remorse, 7 a.m., maybe Champagne Poetry, where he's just being introspective and talking. But it's not nothing I haven't heard before. But it's kind of cool for that. So maybe he can take that and spin it in a different angle or switch up to production. Get different features that would maybe switch it up and add their own take on it, because some of these features I thought, like Lil Baby, we were pointing that out, it didn't really fully fit. It fit on another track he did with Lil Baby, but this one didn't fit. The one with Lil Durk in the Bible, Lil Durk's verse was like him promoting his girl's stuff. That's fine, but the track he put out, Laugh Now Cry Later, his verse was pretty short on that, and he damn near stole the track. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what made him pick these tracks. I know he has other tracks maybe in the burner. Some of these, maybe he knows people are gonna eat up.
Where were the hits, bro? Because I'm gonna say right now, Scorpion had better hits in this project.
Yeah, Scorpion, that was one thing about Scorpion. Yeah, way more hits
in this project.
Yeah.
The Mob Ties and God's Plan put any song on this project in the fucking dirt.
I mean, I wouldn't say like quality wise, like that's what I'm saying. Like quality wise, some of the tracks on here,
the way that they were constructed and like how much they blew up and the potential that they had. I don't think any of these songs on here have potential like those songs to like go skyrocket to the moon, because I don't know what it is, man. I feel like he really picked not the best songs with these features. He's had way better songs with Future, way better songs with Thug, way better songs with Baby. It's just, I don't know, he's setting himself up for failure with those features. And then, like you were saying,
I don't think he was setting himself up for failure, Debbie. He just didn't do as good as the last times. And because these tracks sound similar, it's like, I've heard you do that and do it better. The same track. It's like, but you've done it better before. So without a feature or with a better feature.
But okay, and that's what makes part of the album enjoyable. This is a watered down version of Drake. He got all the best parts of himself. Maybe that's what he was trying to do with the album things. Like where he was listening to albums, he got all the best parts of himself, put it into this album, and watered it down, and it wasn't that good.
Kendrick dropped something like this, I think he'd get shit on. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like if he dropped a project that sounded just like Damn, or just like To Pimp, or just like some of his fans, I mean, people kind of shitted on him for Damn to a certain degree.
People hated Damn.
Yeah, for a period, yeah, people were giving it a lot of craps. I think with Drake, he gets a pass on that front. I think Kendrick gets a pass on the media front and like not dropping music routinely, while Drake gets a pass as far as like dropping stuff that sounds pretty similar to his old work and it's still passing. I Am White Too with Kid Cudi.
Fire.
I like Kid Cudi, so I have to mention that track. We got to talk about it. I thought it was cool, but even that track, like, I think that track was a Kid Cudi track, and Drake was cool on it.
Yeah,
I don't, and that was the first time with them working together like that, so maybe that's why. But like, I like the track, but it wasn't anything special. It wasn't one of my favorites. Some of the cracks are starting to show. What's going to happen? This wasn't the best project. This isn't one of the best projects this year to me. And the other project it was competing with wasn't like the best project of the year to me either. So all this hype, all this build up, both ways to a certain degree, I don't think it ruined the album, but it kind of made it like you did all this and these aren't the best albums in any of your catalog. This could be one of Drake's best albums as far as like top 5 in his catalog, but it's not. It's still not like crazy.
And that's why I appreciate people who are low key about what they do. Shout out Tyler the Creator, 2 weeks promo, and this nigga was still selling crazy on Call Me If You Get Lost. The album was amazing.
I don't think Drake needs that though. That's my point too. I don't know why he chose to do that with this album. I think that's also why it's like you didn't need all that, bro.
Did he even do it though? Was it actually him, or was it like Twitter talking about it?
Yeah,
I feel like
it could have been.
Drake wasn't even.
But I feel
Drake wasn't even talking about this shit. He did talk about an album, but like, was he talking about it on socials? The only thing he said on socials is when Kanye leaked this nigga's address, and he laughed about it. I was like,
no. I mean, I think it was a lot of his fans, but he said he was gonna drop it earlier this year, which also another artist does. You say you're gonna drop something, you delay it. You make people wait months for it, Then he also got engaged with the beef. It built a lot of hype for his album. I think almost like Scorpion. The difference is with Scorpion, the beef actually was fully fleshed out to a certain degree. This one, it was just like a hype aspect. Overall, I'm not trying to shit on this album. It was a solid album. I think, even the track with Lil Wayne and Rick Ross, that was dope. That was a cool little throwback track. Even the beat, it sounded like an old school Cash Money, Young Money beat where they're just spazzing them. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Kind of.
What do you mean?
He did it better on Seeing Green.
I'm not trying to say that he didn't do it better. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could say, that's what I'm saying. At this point with his career, you can say that with all these tracks on. It's like, he did it better. And I think that's what's...
I'm going insane,
I'm not trying to say that. I think that was
shit.
a cool track. Overall, I like the second half more than the first half on this album. Just switch it up a little bit. That's all I want.
I'm going to say my last piece.
What? Say your last piece, AC.
Jake ain't going to change. I don't expect him to change. I enjoyed this album more so than the previous albums in a long time, and that's it. I didn't expect much. I didn't expect much, but I got more than I expected. That's all I can say about this album. Hey, I went in unbiased. Usually I go in there
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's respectable that you can sit back and just enjoy this album for what it is, because I get caught up too much thinking about Drake. When I listen to his music, I think about him too much and what it could be, what the potential is, and I think that's my biggest problem as a listener. Is I'm an overactive listener, so it just it doesn't help. But I think anybody like AC, anybody who is just turning on the radio and Drake comes on, one of these songs come on. Wow. And one of these songs comes on, they'll enjoy it. No, they'll. Hey. I think casual listening like I'm an enjoyable album. No. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not gassing you, bro. I'm saying you went in this casually listening, and I think anybody who casually listens to this album will enjoy this album. I
don't even think that. I just think AC went into it,
didn't care,
and I don't think he just. That's casual. I don't think it was casual. I just think he just was like, I'm gonna get tracks from it, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm gonna get tracks from it. It's playlist. Like, I'm gonna get tracks from my playlist.
That's fair assessment. Sure.
Daily,
Too Sexy, best song on the album.
Oh my god!
Because it was the only.
I miss you too. Knife Talk. Bro, my bad, Deadly. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. You like sexy, every song with Future, bro. Go ahead. Yeah. Say that song. That song you like.
But that's because this one had Future and Young Thug. Okay, there was a one with Future, only Future. That's the second best song here.
Hey,
so Future had the best tracks on Drake's album.
AC, can we agree that I'm not the one hating this time? It's more so Deadly.
It doesn't matter.
Lee, I'm surprised. Bro, this is blowing me away, but I love to see it.
You don't have to like Drake, but we cannot sit here and act like Way Too Sexy was the best track on this album.
No,
that's gonna be the biggest hit,
bro. It is though.
It is the biggest hit. Sure. Does that make it the best song?
In this case, it does.
All right,
he hating.
Wrap it up, bro. Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie, right? Wrap it up, then.
Wrap it up, yeah. Because we ain't getting nowhere with this.
All right, y'all. Let us know what y'all think about this album. Let me know if you like Kawhi's cameo on Way Too Sexy. I thought it was probably the funniest moment of this entire album.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Way Too Sexy, because it's the funniest track. But yeah, hit us up on socials. Follow us on Instagram, Hip Hop Babies Podcast. Follow us on Twitter. I run a lot of the social pages, so you can DM. I'll probably respond back to you. Probably just don't be in there malicious.
Whoever's listening, first off, I want to say thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the support as always. That's love. Keep checking us out. Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear your opinion as well, so that gives us something to talk about in a different perspective. So again, we appreciate y'all.
Thank you for listening. Join the Discord, join everything.
Peace.
Wow.